Okay. So we were talking about we didn't come with an instruction manual. So get in the habit of praising yourself, looking back at your accomplishments and the things that you've done so that you can really, really like build that momentum of self-worth up, that momentum of self-love up, and then you'll get in the habit of doing it. And at first it's going to feel fake, it's going to feel weird, it's going to feel like, oh, but you need that. Continue to do it, right? Continue to pour into yourself. And trust me, over time, right? The world shifts according to your self-love. It's the weirdest thing. It's the most amazing thing. But the world shifts. The reason why I was able to manifest true love, this type of relationship, is because of how I started loving on myself.
Mm.
Right? So, yes, it may feel weird or difficult, but please, please keep doing it, okay? Keep doing it. That was a good question. A lot of us do deal with self-love, right? We're so used to putting other people ahead of us or making other people priorities. I want you to know that you are a priority. Sometimes I have to tell my children no so that
Mhm.
I can be okay, so that I can have enough or more than enough to pour into them. It doesn't make me a bad mama. I know sometimes we can feel bad, right? But self-love, we want to teach our kids self-love too. Like sometimes my 16-year-old, he'll say things or do things, and I'm like, it sounds like he's being, he's only focusing on himself, self-centered, but that is what it's going to feel like and sound like sometimes to others, right? Making yourself a priority. It is going to sound like that and feel like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm teaching him right. Me, I would have been a yes man or a yes woman say, oh, whatever you want to do. But no, he stands proudly and firmly in, the things that he's comfortable with and things like that. And I'm proud that he's able to do that. So we need to do the same for ourselves, okay? When dealing with triggers, I feel like sometimes I'm in a good headspace, but those thoughts creep back into easy when triggered. How do I stay constant and that constant peace of mind? I think that we'll probably get triggers possibly until the day that we croak, right? We might possibly get triggers until the day that we croak. Does it mean that you didn't do your healing? No. Does it mean that sometimes something that comes back up that may remind you of something that really hurt you, it doesn't feel good and you don't like it and you don't want it to happen again and it makes you sad again? Is that okay? Yes, it's okay. Does that mean you haven't done your healing work? It depends on how much that trigger affects you. If that trigger sends you way back and you're in the damn bed for 10 days, yeah, I don't think you really worked on yourself. But if it's just like in that moment, you're like, dang, I remember when that happened to me and that didn't feel good. And you may shed a tear, but you keep moving. Okay, right? It's okay. We may get triggers until the day that we croak. Right. We're human. We're having a human experience, so that's okay. But I feel like about those. Yeah, so that's what I would say when dealing with triggers. Okay, how do I stay in a constant peace of mind? I want you guys to know that we're not always going to stay happy 24/7. I think people think that because I'm a mindset consultant, I've been studying this stuff for 22 years and I manifest the life. I literally do love waking up. I love my life. Okay, I do. But they think that I'm happy 24/7 every day of the week. No, I allow for my mindset to not allow me to sit in emotions that don't serve me for longer than I need to be. I allow for my mind mastery to help me understand that the emotions that I do deal with, what it's creating for me in that moment, right? It
So
doesn't
the
mean
emotional
ignore my
regulation,
emotions, huh?
the emotional regulation,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It doesn't mean ignore my emotions or it doesn't mean don't feel anything. No, feel it, right? Definitely feel it. Allow yourself to feel these things. But what are you going to do with that afterwards? right? Is it going to
Yeah.
control you? Or are you going to, what's going to take place after the fact? I think it's healthy for us
Yeah.
to feel emotions. I think it's really healthy for us to feel what we need to feel, right? And not ignore them. So, don't expect yourself to be happy 24/7. Allow yourself to feel what you need to feel when you need to feel it, but allow yourself to also feel empowered to move forward when necessary. That's the key.
Howard.
Dealing with triggers, learning how to sit with them and work through the emotions. Yes, yes. Selena and Christy were both talking about triggers. Okay, okay. If you guys want to ask about specific triggers or how you can work through that, you guys can. I'll come back to you. Yes, how
Mine
long
was
is
just
too long?
relationship stuff, and then because I was married and recently divorced, and then now it's like going back out, and then it's like those certain things, and then I have
Mhm.
to remind myself, okay, this person is not him, not
Yeah.
my ex, and so like certain things are being triggered, and then now I'm just trying to have that emotional regulation,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Isn't that
okay,
beautiful when the moment comes up, you are actually walking through that. You're saying, okay,
mhm,
this is not the same person, it's not the
yeah,
same situation. Your body is just remembering and reacting. But
yeah,
you are taking control. You're taking the
hmm,
driver's seat and saying, okay, body, you're reacting, but this is something new. And
yeah,
that's beautiful. That is a beautiful thing. The
oh yeah,
problem comes in when we say, "Oh my gosh, I experienced this before. I can't do it. I don't want to go out there and date anymore. I'll just be by myself, right?" Now you're not working through it. Now that situation is totally hindering you, paralyzing you, so much so that you can't move forward. That's a problem. But in
yeah,
those moments, actually walking through it, breathing through it, right, is good because our thoughts create our reality. So your thought most certainly will, because fears are big, they have big emotions. So if you have a fear attached to, because one of mine was fear of being cheated on. Was a child, I grew up with this. But because that fear went up, came along with me, I manifested it.
mm,
How, as a child, I'm a kid, like not even dating. How did I bring that into my world? Because I was so emotionally charged by that fear. And emotions are power. You can think about something in an exciting way and it charges it up in a powerful way and then it manifests. It manifests. Or it could be something that's charged with a negative emotion. The universe doesn't care. The universe is simply going to be a reflection of what was created, right?
mm,
So I think it's a beautiful thing, Selena, that you are walking through it in those moments.
yeah.
And
I'm
yeah,
trying. Yesterday was a hard day. I went shopping and, just seeing everybody, you hear the Christmas music. And then there was a couple of times that I just like broke down. And I don't think it was me feeling those emotions, but just like, okay, get it together.
yeah,
This is beautiful. And I was with my
yes,
kids. And so it's like they didn't see me, but it's like, okay, the reminder
yeah,
of this is love. And but you still have those moments, like how you said, those
yeah,
those triggers or whatever they're going to come. But
yeah.
yeah,
And in my moments, like after, I was cheated on and now I'm trying to work through it, right? In those moments, I had to stop in my moments of crying and say, I am healing. I am
yeah,
healing. That's why it's a little painful, right? Because I'm healing,
yeah,
right? We can break a bone and still it may hurt when we're healing from it. I don't know, if somebody hits it or something, it may hurt, or a wound that is not fully, so it's gonna hurt. But the beautiful thing is, now that I've been cheated on, do I ever want to experience it again? Fuck no, right? No, of course not. But I know I'm not going to die. I'm not going to die. Okay. Before I thought I was going to die. I know I'm
Yes,
not
I'm
going to
gonna
die
say yes to that. Yes.
there. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
I thought I was going to die before, but I'm okay. That's a
My
beautiful
breath.
thing, isn't it? It's a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah.
So our mind sometimes makes things way worse. Now, don't get me wrong. It is very, very hurtful to feel violated in that way. For someone to take your trust or, all of that. Trust me, it felt like I was going to die. Okay. But but knowing what I know now that I didn't die and it was about that person and I, even though I don't want to take responsibility for it because I manifested it, I take responsibility in my part, divine, for creating this in my life.
Right.
Okay.
Hmm.
So now I'm just more mindful about the things that I am attaching emotions to
Yes.
and letting control me. You know. You had something to say, Rain?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. That's what
That's
it is,
Yes.
protecting
Yes. Yes.
yourself and being mindful.
Heart was gonna fall on the floor. I was just devastated. I remember the first time that happened to me. And it wasn't the first, but you survive it that first time
yeah.
and you go through it again because for me it's about change behavior. And until like you say, until you don't start loving yourself, it's not you don't attract that. And that
Hmm.
I was the only one that felt like I was gonna die.
Yeah, buddy. It's painful. And what's crazy is even as a child, I felt like that was the worst thing that could happen to me. And it's because I had felt it. Oh, baby, that looks delicious. Can you put it in the microwave for me? Oh, I know. It's gonna get cold up here. That looks amazing. Um, Thank you, babe. You could put that in the fridge for me too. Um, as a child, I thought it was the worst thing. And it's just amazing to see how I created that in my own life. And it wasn't even my shit. It was shit that I had learned. That's the crazy. It wasn't even my initial fear. It was something I had seen. And then I attached a feeling to it, didn't want to experience that, never wanted to see it, never wanted to go through it. But it didn't even stem from me. Had I not seen that, I wouldn't have even grown up with the fear to manifest it. Be mindful. Be mindful of our mind. We must. We must. Christy, it's good to see you, girl.
Hey, how are
Hey,
you?
I'm very good. Very, very good. Yes. How long is too long to sit in those emotions? Which emotions?
Oh, I think it was just going off of the first ones, like
Okay,
the
the
negative
triggers.
emotions.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So how
Yeah.
we talked about feeling it. And you kind of did answer, you said that it depends, like, well, if you're in your bed for 10 days, then
Yeah.
honestly that's too long. So it's okay to acknowledge it, kind of like how I did yesterday. And it's like, I walked away, the kids are out shopping, and I walked away to cry, and I was like, okay, okay,
Yeah.
Yep.
that's it. We got this. We're going to
We
continue
got
to,
this.
yeah. And then, but I felt the emotions, and it wasn't just like, I brushed it off. I thought about it like, okay, why? What is triggering? What is going on? So I thought about it and then it's just like, okay, then we're good.
Yeah.
And then that was that. But yeah, so you answered it though. It
Yeah.
just depends on how long you're sitting with those thoughts and if it's maybe affecting other areas in your life,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, no, something's the healing isn't there yet and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that. I love that too, Renee. Renee says, I tried to set a time on my down spells, and if I get to that day and not ready, reset and try to stay aware of when I need to teach out to my circle or reach out to my circle for help. I love that. Yep. I think it's very important to be able to self-evaluate. Everybody should, again, self-mastery, knowing who you are, knowing what you need, knowing you. Right? I love that Renee says this. She says, I set a time frame Okay. If something heavy just happened, okay, I'm going to be in the bed for 24 hours. That's okay. All right, I'm going to cry my eyes out. I'm going to eat anything that I want. But tomorrow, I'm getting my ass up. Now, she's saying if she gets to that deadline and she does not feel it, okay, if she cannot do it, she resets. Okay. And she just tries to stay aware. And if she needs to reach out, she does. Okay. All right. You do what's comfortable for you. Okay. How I do it too, I do give myself, and even the people that I'm into, I say, let yourself feel it, sit in the bed, do whatever you have to do. But I give myself this time. I give myself a few hours. I'll give myself a day, but the next day I'm moving because if I rely on the way I feel to make me move every single day, I'm not going to get there. I have to make myself feel okay different. Sometimes you got to take your kids to school and you don't feel like doing it, but you get up and you do it, right? Okay, it's the same thing. All right, you got to get up and do it sometimes, even if you don't feel like it. Not in a unhealthy way. You have to use discernment, okay? Not in an unhealthy way. Use discernment, okay? Evaluation, self-evaluating. Hello, everyone. This Mercury retrograde has kicked my tail, but I survived. Good. I'm glad you're here. Kristen, such an uplifting place to be. Hey, girl. Okay, Kima, I am amazing. Good, 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 good. Grand Rising, Bianca. Move a muscle, train a thought. I love that. I say that to see. So you see, move a muscle, train a thought. Okay, so you got to move. You got to move, even if you don't feel like it. Made an accomplishment list this year. Awesome. Love that question and answer. I was gifted an affordable self-love workbook planner on Amazon that I'm planning to use for some accountability. Share the link. Share it, girl. Let's see this accountability workbook.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, share
Yes.
it. We love all the tools. Holidays are tricky. I am healing. What's the root of our fears? Yes, what is the root? I've been dealing with trying to step out of my fear all of my life, and I'm still struggling. It's like my mind, body, and soul respond to the fear so differently. My mind has such an optimistic view, but I can't step into the things that I want. Ashley, where are you? Let's talk. Okay, what's the root of our fears? What is your fear?
To be very transparent, social media is stepping into just, I know there's a calling on my life, but for some reason, there's always, I get to this wall where I don't know if it's I care what people think or I don't feel like I'm enough. It's just something that there's just like a disconnect. Like some moments I'll go and I'll do it. I'm like, yeah, but then it's like, ugh, I don't know. And to be very transparent, I think part of it is 6 months after I graduated college when I was 23, my mother passed. And so I'm 32 now. So those 10 years of maybe not having the person who kind of helped guided me with the things I need to do. So now I don't have that validation. I feel like, dang, am I making the right moves? Am I making those right steps? And I'm going forward. I'm still going forward, but I feel like, dang, am I kind of feel lost sometimes, you know?
I'm gonna tell you right now, just from listening to you, what you should be working on is self-love, feeling confident, building your confidence up, right? You don't need validation from anyone. Mama is so precious and she's still with you, girl. She is still with you. So you call on her when you need her, okay? She's always with you. She's helping you more than you know. Okay, but she wants you to be proud of yourself. She wants you to be confident in yourself. She wants you to know that you got this. She wants you to trust in yourself. She wants you to not question yourself. She wants you to go after your dreams. I promise you this. She wants you to fearlessly do it, okay? So, and the way that you're going to do that, Ashley, is by taking a step forward. Are you in the mentorship program?
I am not.
Okay. Just asking because in there, the first thing that I have you guys working on is the 30-day identity shift challenge. It is Become Unstuck. It's literally called the Become Unstuck Challenge. It's you know what you got to do. There is a brick wall there. The purpose of the challenge is to make you move through the brick wall. And I give you simple steps to utilize each day, mainly listening to my playlist, listening to me, okay? Things like that, okay? Also coming to the mentorship. The way that we move through our fears is by moving through our fears. We can sit here and we can talk about it, we can think about it as much as we want to, but I'm gonna tell you, Ashley, the way that you're gonna get through this is by moving forward with your social media. So you're going to have to make your page. You're going to have to make a post. You're going to have to put yourself out there. Okay. You can do this. I'm going to tell you guys, if you have the idea, you are made for the journey. If you have the idea, you can endure the journey. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, you must have a grand goal and desire for yourself. You must have grand goals because so much so that they're probably scaring you. It's scary to step into it. So, but we're not going to use fear anymore. We're going to say it's exciting, right? And it's just unknown territory. So that's what we're going to lean towards. This is an exciting new journey for you. You don't know what to expect, but we're expecting greatness. We're going to move intentionally by having a plan, setting ourselves up for success, right? Figuring out a way that we can maneuver around this social media without necessarily putting ourselves in a pickle where we feel like we can't be vulnerable or share pieces of ourselves in order for us to be successful. You have a message, you want to share it. How can you do that, right? For instance, there's sometimes when I'm at my board and I don't show my face. Okay, because I just don't want to be on the screen at that time. So you'll see my fingers, my hands, and I'm on the board, right? I don't have to show my face. There are some people who do faceless videos, right? And that's the way that they're sharing their message, okay? How can you share your message in a way that that it can still be effective until your confidence is completely built up where you want to express it how you truly desire. Do not let your fears, if you sat up here and said you have grand purpose, baby, do not let your fears get in the way of that. The difference between the people who make an impact in this world and the ones that don't is they take the action.
Can I ask you a question? Do you feel as though like fear almost kind of has to come along for the ride? Because the crazy part is I have everything set up. Like the YouTube page is set up, the TikToks, the Instagrams, the website is there, but it's like when it comes to posting, like I even have the videos, it's just like I don't know what it is about just hitting post, friend. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It sounds like it's the validation. And hearing you speak, you've just been used to all your life being worried about what other people think. I mean, so you got to look back at your life in high school and school. Did you experience some moments where, you may have chosen to, these are just examples, guys. It could go any way. And this is just a quick conversation from hearing you speaking for just a moment. But okay, say for instance, you wear a new outfit to school or have a new look and your peers don't accept you. How did that maybe impact a child, right? And then so much so that they may not want to express themselves. You have to look at your own past and see where could this come from? Where did I not feel that I was enough for, things like that. You got to really do some digging if you want to figure out the root of your fear. If you don't want to waste your time, baby, move forward. I believe that with every new journey, there's going to be some level of unknown. For instance, my goal is to be one of the greatest speakers of this generation. Am I nervous about that? Yes, because I don't know what that entails. Do I feel it within my being that that is what I resonate with? Yes. Now, fears, maybe the fear would be, oh my gosh, what if I had to speak in front of 50,000 people? What would that be like? Certain experiences. But am I going to I know that when I'm ready for that, I understand that because that's a goal, it's a grand goal. I must not yet be ready for it. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with the learning process. I'm okay with everything that I need to go through in order to attain it. So I'm allowing myself to be patient in the journey, but there would be no journey if I did not start somewhere. So you have to start. Okay? You got to start. You will see that the fears are merely just the screen. You just don't know what to expect. So, as a creator, and if I tell you your fears are created, they will create your reality. You can actually manifest something negative. We do it all the time. If I'm telling you you are a creator and you can create the negative, what I would want to hear from you is, well, I don't want to do that. I want to create something positive. So we're going to switch that fear. We're going to release that fear. If it's not in, it doesn't sound like you really know where it stems from.
I really don't, but man, you're
Okay.
so amazing. You just changed my mind about it. I think maybe it's not even necessarily fear. Maybe I'm just anxious because it's unknown and
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. So it's just because I don't know and I have to let that go and just walk in it. And
Yeah.
I'm realizing your personal really does roll over to anything else that you touch. So if you don't ground you, there's no, I'm not gonna say there's no point, but everything is gonna be a reflection in a mirror back to you.
Yeah,
Man, I
girl.
can't wait till more people find you. You really are a very talented, blessed soul. Man, thank
Oh,
you.
listen to
Thank
you.
you.
You just schooled us too. Okay. I love all of y'all. I'm gonna be excited. Hold it, Ashley. What's your social media? We're all about to follow you right now. Because you
So
said you have a
on all,
message. We're
thank
gonna
you,
be
thank you.
rooting for
All
you.
the accounts.
Huh? Okay, come on. What is
I
it?
am Ashley Reynolds. So literally it's at I am Ashley Reynolds.
Okay, let's follow her, guys. Let's do this right now, okay?
I
Because
appreciate that.
Ashley has a grand purpose with her messaging. She knows it, she feels it, and we are ready for it, right? Aren't we ready for this for her? Let's see.
Yes, and is this IG and TikTok or just IG, just
Yes,
TikTok?
IG, TikTok, YouTube as well, because we will be posting in 2025. So I am Ashley Reynolds.
So hold it.
I'll put
Hold
it in
it.
the chat. Uh-oh.
Uh-huh, hold it. You said
I
you
know.
have everything ready, right? You said you have everything. You're so cute. Okay, okay. You are posting. You are already posting. Yes?
But when you see the gap in it's not the
I did
consistent
see
because
that.
the fear comes
Okay.
in. So you notice it's like, okay, well, that was like, so recently I have been trying to, be more consistent, especially on TikTok, but it's like actually for what you're doing, you need to be out there because of the industry that I'm in. But I don't know if it's the imposter, you know what? It don't matter what it was. We are now moving forward with a different mindset and we're going to work through those
Okay,
things
girl.
because
Okay,
we
girl.
ain't got
Yes.
time. New
Yes.
year.
Yes. Girl, if you're not in the program, you better take advantage of it. I just lowered it, guys. Anybody that does not have it, take advantage of the discount, super discount right now. Okay. Okay.
Wait, so
Who is
really,
next?
I realized
What's
I
this?
have one of your packages, but I don't know if the mentorship is the same thing.
Which
Maybe I just
package do
have
you
the,
have? Is it from long ago or is it recent?
I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what? You go ahead and continue. Let me look it up and then I'll
Right.
put it in the chat what I have.
Okay, honey. Love the mentorship. I
Because
need to
I
hear
gotta look it up on my laptop.
reinforcements to keep. Okay, baby. To keep me moving. Awesome. That resonates. I'm actually a coach that reached my goals. Good job, Bianca. Then became stuck. Okay. Thinking the program could be what I need to get back on track. It's the consistency. Literally, guys, it is low right now. Just a hint, hint. I've been working on oh, that's a different one. Okay, Bianca, what type of coach are you? You guys, 2025, I'm working with only coaches and only doing this mentorship. I'm gonna have two programs going on strictly for mindset coaches. If you know that you want to be a mindset coach, if that resonates with you, I'm going to be having a program for you guys and then this mentorship program going on for 2025. Bianca, where are you? What type of coach are you? There you go. I see you. Are you there? Oh,
I
there she is.
okay, I had to get unmuted.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here. I love watching you on TikTok. So I am a business coach transitioning into holistic business coaching, which will infuse mindset coaching. And so
Okay.
it's like
Yeah.
I have my programs together. I've been doing it for 4 years, but I am like, I can teach these things, but when it comes to myself, I'm really not practicing what I'm preaching.
Yeah.
Um, and so I've had life coaches, I've had therapy, I had a lot of trauma when I was growing up. And when I found you, I was like, wow, like this is exactly what I need. It's very different from what I teach, but I think for what I need, what my spirit needs, and for my growth, it resonates. And it's like everything that you say, I'm like, wow, like that's what I need, and that's what I'm doing. And so I love you.
Thank you. Thank you, girl.
Yes.
So let's talk about the becoming stuck part.
Okay. I don't know what happened. So
Hmm.
I basically went from like a 6-figure year.
Yep.
But like I steadily grew from the pandemic
Yep.
from 2020 to 2022. And then I had, I think it was because I had a bad experience with like, I mixed business with pleasure, which I shouldn't have. And after that happened and things kind of went south, I just got stuck. And it was like my relationships, I think with men, impact ultimately my business and my growth. And then I get depressed, or I would get like just get in my head. And then I became stuck to the point where I stopped posting on social media. I didn't want to go live anymore. It was like I went from this phenomenal growth to like just completely negative thinking 24/7 and just in my head. And now it's to the point where I haven't even really taken on any clients. So it's just been a very stagnant, like inconsistent.
How long, sorry to cut you off. How long were you successful in your eyes? Like you said, you were successful in your business. How long was that? Was it a year, 2 years?
It was 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. And prior to that, how were things?
Things were good, but I had a 9 to 5. So I had my business on the side for about 10 years. And but so this was the first time like doing the business full time.
Mhm.
And I don't know, like I don't even know what happened. I just know that the last couple years I have not been motivated, I haven't been inspired. And I think it was what she was saying earlier about like, or what you were saying actually. I think about what other people think, and now I think like it's because of my weight, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Okay, because you're saying you're a different weight than what you were when you first started with your
Yeah.
business and were successful.
Yes. But that's always been an issue. Like I've always had mindset issues with my weight and like nutrition and things like that.
What was going on right before your success in your business? You were a different weight. What was going on?
I was in a different relationship
Okay.
and I was very happy. And I think that was kind of when I had like my awakening and I started this journey of growth.
Mhm.
And so I was just at a point where I felt really good about myself and where my life was going, and like grow. I was excited to grow the business. And I probably didn't have any toxic people in my life, like men in my life. Like I had left a 10-year relationship, and so I had spent a lot of time by myself and just working on myself. And like we were talking about earlier, like self-love.
Okay. You were in a 10-year relationship. You were single for how long before you hopped into that new relationship and started seeing success in your business?
Um, that was probably like a 5-year gap where like I dated, but like nothing serious. Like I hadn't lived with anyone or anything like that.
Okay. And then this person and you broke up and then the business crumbled?
Um, it kind of was like while we were together, I think it started crumbling. Yeah, it was like while we were together, it started crumbling. And now, and like he's still in my life. And so sometimes I think I'm like, God is telling me, like, hello, like this is what that different factor was. So
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
So it definitely, so there's some different identities going on there. For instance, you guys right now, for instance, can look in your closet and you may see some shit and you're like, I cannot believe I wore that. How was I thinking? That was mine, right? You were a completely different person. Okay. A lot of times when we shift who we are, if we have not fully programmed ourselves with that new identity, it can stay here temporarily. But
Mm,
then the real who we are to the core will come back up to the surface. Okay.
mhm.
So that identity that you shifted into, right? Smaller weight. You said my weight has been like this, right?
Right. It's gone.
Smaller weight, it's gone up and down, right?
Right.
Okay. You were a smaller weight, your business is looking a certain way, you're in a new relationship. That's a whole different person.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm just trying to break it down so you guys understand. That's a identity. Okay. Now, right now, you're not in that identity. You're in a separate identity, a parallel identity.
Yeah.
Okay. You've left that one. Okay. It's either because I haven't sat with you long enough. It's either you're truly this identity that you're in right now, and that one was a temporary one that you didn't fully program. Okay, or reversed and you're just going through some healing right now. You should be going through healing right now. This
Mhm.
is a moment of growth to truly, only you will know that without us going to deep, okay?
Mhm.
But you need to step back into that identity. Right now, you are complete. You don't even see yourself as that person that you used to be, and you need to become that. So whatever you're doing right now, whatever habits you have right now, whatever routines, your way of thinking right now, that's why you're seeing what you're seeing. You weren't thinking and feeling act like that two, however many years ago, 2 years ago, four
Right.
years ago. Okay, whatever. Sorry. You weren't thinking and feeling and speaking like that. That's why you saw that abundance. That's why you saw that happiness. What is the difference? You got to sit with that and figure out what's going on, okay? And just literally decide which one you want to be. As far as the weight thing, let me talk about that because a lot of people, a lot of us deal with that, and it can go with gaining weight or losing weight. It's not just always about losing weight. Some people want to gain weight. That was my thing when I was younger, wanting to be at a comfortable weight, right? So when growing up, I was known as skinny. I was the skinny Nikki. Okay, if they compared me to any other, I was the skinny one, right? Okay, so I came up with that label of being skinny. So that was my identity. So even if I wanted to gain weight, I could gain 5, 10 pounds, 15 pounds over a month of trying hard to do it. But as soon as I stopped trying, I would always revert back to my weight, the weight that I had been all my life because I was conditioned with Nikki is skinny. So you always revert back to who you are on autopilot with, okay? So who you believe yourself to be. If you believe that your weight fluctuates, that's who you're going to be. It will fluctuate every 2 months. If you believe and see yourself as a smaller individual, that's who you are. You're not someone who struggles with their weight. You're not someone who is 500 pounds. You're someone who is 200 pounds or whatever the thing is. You're not somebody who's 100 pounds. You're someone who is 200 pounds. Okay. Numbers don't matter. Whatever you're happy with. Okay. Numbers don't matter. Okay. Um, but you have to identify with the new weight. You can't think of yourself as the person trying to lose the weight. Okay, it's not gonna work like that. Okay, it's not gonna work like that. You gonna say something, B?
No, I love that. Just
Yeah.
I wanted to
Yep. So it's just gonna help you with your business too. You got to see yourself as that successful woman that you were, that you know you can be. Right now, you're seeing you again. Haven't talked for long, but work on the healing that you need to be doing, feeling through. Right, work on that. We never want to ignore the healing that we have to do because um, it's gonna fuck us up. It's gonna fuck us up. It's gonna come back out. It's gonna show itself when we least expect it and when we least want it. So work through your healing. The healing is here anyway for our trauma is here anyway, guys, for us to like discover specific things about ourselves. Like it's almost intentional for us to experience certain traumas so that we can discover certain things about ourselves, okay? So don't be afraid of the healing that you got to do because you're supposed to experience that specific healing. Okay. I know we've gone on over a little bit from Mindset Church. We're going right into the mentorship at 12:30. Okay. We will go right into the mentorship on a different link at 12:30, just FYI. So we'll wrap this up in just the next few minutes. Um, but yeah, Bianca. So just disconnect from this identity. You're not her anymore. You're leaving her today, actually. Say
Yeah.
goodbye. Okay. Say goodbye. Okay. If you have the program, inside of the program, I have you guys pick a new name. I have you guys pick the emotional traits, the physical traits that you need to be relating to, claiming as your own so that you can begin to shift. Okay. Make sure that you are following those, the steps in there and the challenges and coming to the weekly mentorship. Okay.
Love
So you can
getting
help
ready.
go through this. What
Thank
was
you.
that, my darling? Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying thank you. I'm getting ready to go get it right now.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll see you at 12:30.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else was on? Asked the question. Did we get through all the questions? I've been working on myself for 17 years. I'm trying to practice not being afraid in different scenarios. I love that, but I love your mindset. It's amazing. I'm so grateful to be here. I love that. I'm trying to practice not being afraid in different scenarios. How are you doing that? Is Renee still up in here? Yes. How are you doing that? Share with others.
Also new to social media, so trying to find every app has its own options and trying to get there. So I'm doing that by honestly, I'm isolating. I work from home.
Mhm.
I do laundry off a gig, an app, and it's amazing because laundry was my therapy through my trauma as a child. I grew up in Manhattan in a high riser, and the laundromat was in the second floor, and it was away from what was going on in my apartment upstairs. And I always loved it, and I even loved to wash my children's clothes by hand when they were little. They're adults now, and it's a struggle. But this and from other strong women that I came across in my life that told me do self inventories. They gave me certain
Yeah.
questions, and I changed the questions up, and according to what I'm going through that day or whatever. And I have to stay aware of what's going on in my mind because I have a disability. I have a fever.
You went out a little bit, Renee.
I said I have a disability. I have a chemical imbalance, so I'm struggling. But I go out. I'm not. I'm paying my bills, so I'm being productive somehow. Is what I say. But
Absolutely.
I live in a whole different state. My family lives in New York. I live in Pennsylvania. I live 2.5 hours away. My husband is away. He probably won't be home until next year. He's been away 6 years. So I'm very locked in. So I am so happy that I decided to go on social media because my kids would do it in my house when they were younger and home. And I'd be like, that's invasion. You have people in my house.
Yeah.
And I'm proceeding with caution because I'm afraid to get hurt.
I'm so sorry. Can you guys hear her? Or is it just me? I can't. Is it just me? I can't hear you good.
I get emotional when I talk loud.
What was it, my darling?
I said when I get emotional, my voice goes.
Oh, okay. There you go. I'm sorry. I didn't even know you were getting emotional. What'd you say? They said you're breaking up, but take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time, honey bunch.
I just I'm grateful to be in your platform. Thank you.
We love you so much. We love you so much, honey. Love you so much. Okay. Anybody else? I'm struggling with the fact my life will never be the same again. Change has been challenging to say the least. Yeah. I would say that change can be difficult. I'd be lying to say that it isn't. And the only change that is difficult for me to help people through is grief. That's the only change because, um, But otherwise, I want to encourage you that you asked for the change. I'm not talking about grief or anyone passing. I'm talking about other things in our lives. Okay. We got to know that we asked for the change. Change, we're always evolving. Life is never going to be the same. You've been evolving since the moment you were conceived. There has been change every single day, even though you may not have been aware of it. So things will never be the same. We never want them to remain stagnant, and we should be grateful for the opportunity to be able to experience change. It means that we too are evolving. It means that we too are growing, right? It means that we have another opportunity to get it right, to do better. Okay. But yes, change can be challenging. I want to encourage you and let you know that you are strong enough. You are strong enough. Lean on the divine, you guys. Lean on the divine. I love leaning on the divine. No one does it better than the divine, right? No one does it better than the divine. Ask the divine to lead your steps, guide your steps, protect you, right? When you do that, when you say lead my steps, it is a big responsibility. You have to be obedient. You have to be willing to listen. But you were made for this. You were made for this. Okay. Any other questions? We're going to close out before we hop into mentorship. Oh, okay, guys. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
You guys so much. Bye.
You.